Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A1881 F1. We are here today for round number 2 here at Canada. As per usual, I'm your host, Mr. Lone Georgie himself, and I will just chuck some links into the chat to let people know that the stream is up. And we are here, as I said, for round number 2. Now, welcome to everybody who is joining us today. Obviously, we're excited to be here, and we're excited to have you all joining us as well. Just gonna see what the news is. Oh, people are watching after the race. Cool, cool, cool. There's Legendary Go, just go around the final chicane here at Canada. Obviously, we missed Q1, unfortunately. I do apologise for that, as per usual. Can't really help my own eating times, but these things happen. I think we'll actually watch Legendary go on his first quali lap. Not sure how well my voice is today. Do expect it to be rather ill, sicky. Just not the greatest day. Still feeling rather ill. But anyway, nonetheless, we're here. And what I'm actually looking for, whilst I'm trying to stall the time a little bit, is the standings. For this season, I think what we're going to do is tell you the top 5 in drivers and any interesting battles for the drivers. Plus, we'll tell you the top 5 constructors as well. So, in first is Rothmans with 40, second Ligo with 34, third Keown with 28, fourth Kajoko, yes, I got that right, woohoo, with 24, and fifth is Altan with 22. And right now, in the top of the Constructors' Championships is Ferrari with 46, Alpine with 40, Red Bull with 39, McLaren with 38, and AlphaTauri with 30. But anyway, Mr. Mechanicals with 112.7, Legendary Go beats it with 111.6. Obviously, the superior Red Bull powertrain really helping Legendary Go there, as Altan gets a 112.8, Dan gets a 113.0. That's modern Mercedes for you. But yeah, obviously we're expecting Rothmans to possibly win today, but I think there's an outside chance of Legendary Go actually snatching the win up here for today's race, as Eber comes through with 112.1, Hajoko with 112.6, and Thran won the 114.3. And you know, we're going to watch Haggis, because Mr. Haggis is fun. Rothmans with 111.6, Andrew 112.6, his teammate beating him by a whole second. Ooh. That's going to be hard to take. Hopefully, Andrew can improve on his time, as Haggins invalidates in the final corner. Ooh, that's got to sting. A 113.4 it would have been, which would have put him only in P9. Honestly, that's unlucky. Very unlucky indeed. As Tan's next lap is invalid, so Ivo's is as well. Haggett's, his lap is also invalid. Altan set his second lap, and I do believe that would have been an in-between lap, as he's just improved by half a tenth in the first sector. Half a tenth already puts him up into P6. If he can improve again, that will be, well, that'll be P5 at least, surely. And then, you know, if he improves the third sector, that's brilliant as well. And yep, 0.3 tenths. So already we're expecting him into 4th place. He needs another 5 tenths here to beat E-Bird on his lap. But obviously 5 tenths is hard to come by. A good exit out of the final chicane at the end. Sorry, out of the hairpin at the end is enough for him to improve by that time. But sadly, it won't be enough to get P3. It is enough just to be Andrew here for P6. And that's Altan in P6. Lovely to see. Meanwhile, we ride on board here with Kajoko, who's currently on an outlap, I do believe. Oh, that's Mr. McCann, my apologies. I was assuming it was Kajoko. Sadly, didn't realise it wasn't. Tan also getting a 112.3 as eBird out of the session. Where has eBird retired? There's also a yellow flag over in Sector 2. I believe that may be for the McLaren. But it possibly, I'm guessing, eBird into the pits. And yeah, the McLaren is going slow. That is the McLaren of Altan, who has run out of fuel. Things you love to see. Not this. Meanwhile, there goes through Mr. McCann. And tell me what you lot think, but ooh, that is a very, very dodgy entrance. That's Mr. McCann's lap, pretty much Mr. McGon. So we'll move on to Dan, as the Aston moves out his way the best he can. That may be a bit of a slowdown for Dan, but it should be alright. Yeah, I'm trying out this new... Well, I think it's not new, but I'm trying out just having possibly quality races partially like this. So you may see me flicking the screen between, you know, having the times up on the side and having, or the driver's positions, whatever, and just having aesthetic shots like this. Do tell me what you all think. It's something that works and it looks good, but obviously you can't see anything and you have no idea what's going on. I have only conversating on one driver and I don't actually know who's around him. So again, it's what you lot think. So again, just let us know, because it'll be something I'll be trying for this league. Obviously, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but just testing it out anyway. As you can see, Dan didn't improve too much, only 3 tenths. So actually, he did just get in front of Mr. McCann, who's up on his time at the moment. Legendary Goat and Rothan's still 1 and 2 in the 111s. I think they're fine. Nobody can beat those times and get them out of the top 10. The only people needing to worry about really being knocked out, Mr. McCann being one of them, are the people in the 112s. I think 112.3 is the time people will be aiming for, meaning Tan is on the cusp of where he should be. That slow move from Mercedes did not help at all. And I believe that was, yeah, that was Dan. Ooh. Dan definitely did not help Tan's lap there. I mean, it wasn't going to be an improvement from Tan anyway, but that slow move of Mercedes just in the way. As Mr. McCann is trying to improve his lap once again, 8 tenths up. No, he's not. Never mind. Oh, Kieran King ended up going P4. Good little lap from Kieran there. P5, sorry. That's a good lap from him. Haggis is not improving his lap. Ivo might be going back. Oh no, pits. And T-Bran, unfortunately invalidated, but he's the only man on track, so we'll keep an eye out on him. But yeah, with only 4 minutes left to go. I think 112.3 is safe, 112.4 isn't. As you can see, Dan's got a 112.7. That's 4 tenths behind Tan, which is around the time, you know, it's at 4 or 5 tenths to be improved in Q2. I think everyone from Tan onwards needs to pit and needs to go out again. I don't think there's a single driver there who is safe, guaranteed. All Tan with a 5 second a 5 place grid penalty. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. That is yeah, that's not good. Keown though retiring in the pits. A very risky plan there. What is it with Altan, guessing grid penalties? Oh, I know it's Raleigh normally. Raleigh last time, Altan this time, I believe. There's a massive queue there behind the Alpine. Alpine, AlphaTauri, Mercedes, and then AlphaTauri once again. And then, obviously, Ivo just exiting the turn into Sector 2's DRS section. But here starts Altan's lap, a man who possibly could come and take this away from Legendary Goat, and we're going to watch this at least for a while. You can see the sparks flying from his car. That McLaren trying to go as quick as it can into turn 1, 2 and 3, as we've got a Aston Martin just behind. I do love this camera shot, by the way. This one is the best camera shot in the whole game, followed by this one as well. These two, just love it. Canada has some of the best cameras in my opinion. And then you get the really shitty wing cam that nobody likes at all. Like, who wants to look at a race like this? Imagine driving like this. Tan's also back out, and that's a purple Sector 2 from Altan. A little bit of a dodgy hairpin there. But it's okay. It's okay. He's just... No, it's not okay. It's not okay. No bueno, por favor. I have no idea what language I've just spoke. It may be French, it may be Spanish, it may be Haggis. I really don't know. But 112.5 is the lap we get set. Altan not improving his first lap. Kajoko, on the other hand, neither. 113.1. Andrew up to P3 for 111.9. That is beautiful, son. Absolutely beautiful. Ivo not going to be a massive improvement. This probably will keep him down in P13. And yes, a 115.3, not enough to even get close to Thran in front of him. T-Bran in front of him. Meanwhile, T-Bran is actually been really badly pressured by... Is that... Oh, that's the McLaren behind him of Altan. With time running out, T-Bran may have his last stand here. Altan looking to get into the top 5 possibly for Q3. Obviously, E-Bird finishes in 112.1. Rothmans and Haggis both done as well. Altan making sure he's through. And that's Altan P5. T-Bran confirms P12. Kajoko stays P8. Dan at P9. Mr. McCann. Oh, and he does not make it. Ivo is the last. Oh, excuse me. Ivo's the last man. But unfortunately, there won't be an improvement from him, as Ivo, Gran, and Mr. McCann are all knocked out of the session. Tan barely able to make it through somehow. But for some reason he's put in P10. I'm guessing Tan must have crashed on track. Yep, that's what happened. 112.3, Tan crashed on track. That's why he's down in P10. That is undeserving as hell. That's the game just saying, no, F you. Well, Tan, I'm sorry, but Cos and Sin could not help you today. And that's a maths joke, and I am depressed for even making that joke. Jeez. I am sorry to anyone who I've just given nightmares reminding you of GCSE maths. I am so sorry. I am genuinely sorry. But Legendary Go, P1 out of Q2. As I'm just turning on my PC so I can read Discord notifications relatively quickly. And I'm just going to... Tan, you will move to P10. It's a dumb game glitch. Oh, apparently there's some problems. Oh, apparently that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. I guess I was completely wrong then, but we are into Q3, and I'm sorry for looking at Discord for so long. Everyone's obviously on the soft, so why do I need to tell you that? Who are we going to watch for their flying lap? Well, it's none other than E-Bird. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's an E-Bird. It's an E-Bird. That's what it is. E-Bird possibly going for the win today. Could be an outside shout with his lovely pink helmet. Don't have my money on him, but could definitely be within a shout. I think anyone in this top 10 really has the capabilities to seize onto it. I think Dan's an outside chance. Dan, Kajoko, and Haggis. I don't think they will get it. Haggis mainly because of the car. But Dan and Kajoko, I think podiums on the cards. Keown could easily win it. Andrew's got the pace. Rothan's being a champion already could quite easily win it. Legendary Goat has proven that he's got the speed to do so. I know. I watched a race of his. Actually, I was participating in a race of his only on Friday, P2 in Brazil. You know, that counts for a lot. So possibly in this Red Bull, he will be doing a lot better. But first man across the line is E-Bird. That's a 112.4. Haggis will be next. And apparently, no, he won't because he's on an out lap. Never mind, it will be Andrew with a 1:11.1. That puts him on pole Altan 112.4. We're going to go over to the other Alpine now of Rothan's. And it's invalidated. Rest in peace. Dan's the last man, so instead of watching everyone else, we'll just go to Dan as legendary GOAT. Puts in a 111.7. 125.6 from Keown. Congrats on the pole time, Keown. That is a brilliant lap, my friend. Brilliant lap. Ferrari have got the strategy perfectly. Plan A, Keown. Plan A. As Dan puts in a 113.2. Kajoko invalidated. Haggis on the back straight. And Rothan's setting a new lap. E-Bird already back into the pits. Bloody hell. Do you even, I don't know, drive around the track? Do you just reverse back into the pits, say, yeah, I'm done? But Haggis with a 1 at 12.8, I proper went Scottish there. Tickling my throat just made me go, Haggis. Funny as hell. As Rothan's across the line with a 1.11.1, beating his teammate by less than 4,000 hundredths. Brilliant lap there. As Tajoko still invalid, but he's going to have another go at it. Keown back into the pits. Dan zooming in there as well. Haggis will probably join him, and Altan seems to have gone for a third lap. But it's already been invalidated. So yeah. Oh! Well. Kajoko has found the wall. Congratulations, my friend. They're pretty much everywhere, but well done for finding it, well done for giving it a kiss. I'm sure Barry R gets very lonely sometimes, so thank you for accompanying him in Sector 1. Now that's a Super GT joke, for those who know. And it's still a valid lap technically, so he could go and finish this. Unless there's a little bit of wing damage there. Not too much, mate. You're fine. You're fine. There's barely any damage whatsoever. Meanwhile, the wing's actually fully off, but you know. Only an M plate is fine. Or I guess not. Well, everyone's back into the pits, apart from Legendary Goat, who's still gone back out once again with 5 minutes and a half left to go. Well, Legendary Goat is that we're on board with. So I was just reading up about the rules in real F1. If you DNF on track, you get moved to the back. Oh, and that is a legendary invalidation of his lap. I don't know who else to watch, so I will just stick with Keown, currently on pole with his 125.6. The sarcasm in my voice is hilarious. And look at this, he's about to improve on his lap, on an out lap. I mean, look at it, it's a 128. Jokes. Enough joking about Keown's superb lap so far. Let's watch his actual lap. Into turn 1 he goes... Well, turn 1? Turn 1? Are you dumb? I meant into the downhill turn he goes. You can tell I'm ill because I'm messing up everything today. Jeez. Again, this is just commentary for commentary's sake, not for professional sake for this week, I've realised. That's definitely a validation short. That's not invalid. He ran over the whole curb. He went so far over, he crossed the border to America. Tsunami's joined. Let's go. We're going to make some waves. As Keown into the chicane, will he hit the wall of champions? No. Oh. I mean, yay for Keown. In fact, that's a pretty brilliant lap as well. A 1:12.0. Oh, lovely. Inject it into my veins, son. Kajoko's on an out lap. Dan, Altan, and Andrew all on lap as well. Through goes Andrew. Nope, that was Rothan's. Andrew, this better not be a flying lap. No, it's not. Who's actually is on a flying lap? Well, not Dan, that's for sure. Kajoko is? Nope, he's about to start one. Altan is going slowly. Keown is not improving, so that means we're going to go with Andrew once again. Nope, he's going slowly. Well, why is he going slowly? Like, plus 2 seconds. You've got 2 minutes left in your P2 to your teammate. How are you going to go plus 2 seconds? Finally, a man who's actually improving on his time, Kajoko, the man who's obviously going to win today's race. I mean, look at that lime green helmet. It looks so good that I would like to eat it thinking it's a mint choc chip ice cream. And that is the strangest sentence I've said all week. But then again, I've not said many sentences this week because I've been ill. And barely been able to speak without my throat hurting, so... It is what it is. Kajoko, though, going pretty decent here. Probably won't be a pole lap, but it will be top 5 for sure. And it's a 1:12.8, my apologies. It will be top 10 for sure. Keown out of a 1:12.0. A nice nifty little lap there from Keown. No improvement from Rothmans. Andrew also starting up a new fastest lap. The McLaren of Altan has had enough, same as Dan. Those two won't be improving, so they're happy to be right next to each other in 6th and 7th. Legendary go on an outlap, so is eBird. They're both close enough, so they will be making it to the end. As you can see on the minimap. Andrew slowing down. Is this what we call... Oh, Altan's out. Andrew moved over out of the way for Kajoko, who not improving on his lap. Haggis also not improving. eBird able to start his lap. Legendary go already on it. Andrew's just there. Rothans will be out. Andrew does not make it through to the end after getting invalidated, which means it's just down to Legendary go, eBird and Haggis. We'll ride on board with Haggis for now. Actually, yeah, we will. As both Rothans and Andrew confirm 1 and 2 for now. Kajoko happy with his P9. I mean, the last few drivers have a few places to fill. Haggis going decently. Legendary go down on his time by 3/10. He needs 3 more in this last sector to get pole. Or he's going to confirm P3. Ignoring, obviously, what eBird says about that. Not on the grass at all, though. Legendary go. It's a 1:11.2. It's just half a tenth off P2. It's a brilliant lap. eBird invalidated. Haggis moves into P4. Woo! Haggis has got the iron brew running through his veins, taking that utter... I can't say the word I want to say, but SH1T box up into P4. But it's Alpine domination for P1, P2 with a Red Bull in the mix. Aston in 4th with Haggis, and then Keown in 5th. The only men in the 111s though are the top 4. Keown just missing out on that. Meanwhile, the rest of the top 9 all in the 112s. And it's going to be very interesting to see what people choose, either the mediums or the hards. Because it's a 1-stop if you go medium to hard, or vice versa, but a 2-stop if you even touch the softs. Soft hard is not possible. Soft medium is very, very hard, but possible. So this is going to be a very interesting test, not just for the drivers, but for me in the commentary box as well. Because I want to sit through 30-something laps, and I guarantee that someone is going to do some stupid shizer. I don't know why I'm trying not to, so I've already sworn like 3 times. I'm trying to be a good boy, okay? I'm trying to be a good commentator. One who is completely politically correct. How do I put an L on what Andrew just said? There we go, there's the L. Haha. Bullying Andrew is fun, and it's the only thing that gets me through these boring load times. 5 red lights. And away we go for the formation lap. So, let us begin. Let's just get an aesthetic though of P1, P2 being the 2 Alpines here. Like, you just love to see it. Anyways, so 2 stops for Haggis, Ebird, Bran, and Butcher Rabbit. That's interesting. Butcher Rabbit I expected, because he does like 5 stops in a race, so that's normal. My man Kumi Dojita in last place, that's depressing. But a full grid as well, that's less depressing. Top 3 on hards, expected. Keown on hards, expected. Dan on hards, expected. Kajoko on mediums with Tan and McCann. Well, that's a very solid choice for them. I think those are good choices. Bran wasn't looking super quick, so I think the choice of the softs, definitely a good choice for him. I think he's going to want a bit more pace if he just loses it in the pits. That's fine by him. He wants to be competitive, and that's a good choice. Altan and Ibo on mediums, yeah, that's fine. Tsunami on the hards. Mid-pack on the hards, yeah, they won't wear out too much. If you're battling, it seems alright. Obviously, you already said about these 4 soft runners, so Role and Twinkle on the mediums. 2 people who should be a lot higher up than they are, but medium battlers, yeah, I think they'll be alright at the back. They should be quicker than the guys around them, but it's getting away from guys around them as Andrew somehow missed and spun, but okay. Meanwhile, Kumigo Jita and Kingdom at the back here. I think they'll be fine. Respect my man Gogeta. Like, if Gogeta wins a race, I'm taking next week off to party. We like to party. We like to party. We like to party. The Wenger bus is coming. Da, 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 da. I don't want us to get copyrighted, so I'll stop. But anyways, 5 red lights that aren't actually here yet for the Canadian Grand Prix in A1881. 5 red lights. Do 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 do. They just don't exist. Like, oh, Altan had to leave for that. 5 red lights. And away we go, go, go. It's a brilliant start from Legendary Goats there in the Red Bull as he gets up into P2. Andrew's going to try back, round it on the inside. Legendary Goat down the position. Everyone is going to be fighting into these first few corners, side-by-side action. Anyone who does this side-by-side in this downhill is basically guaranteed to either have an incident or, well, end up like a Twinkle there, who was somehow really far up and now all the way to the back, but CMCR unfortunately spun Ibo around, luckily moving out of the way. But Rotham's first, Andrew second. Legendary Goat's a good start, unfortunately not enough as he now languishes in P3. And Ivo and CMCR switching places. Oh, what a move up the inside from Kajoka there on Dan. Dan down to P4. Sorry, Dan down to P7. I was looking at Haggis still in P4. That to me is the best thing. Butcher Rabbit going to make a move. This is legendary. Things like this have never been seen before. Butcher Rabbit making a move. He's not going to be able to do it into here. Will he do it out of the Wall of Champions? Oh, come on, give me my viewpoint of Butcher Rabbit making a move. And I don't think it's on anymore, sadly. But Dan getting overtaken by T-Bran. And even Tan is on for it now. E-Bird overtaking Kingdom as well as a Twinkle is into the pits. Haggis still P4 and he needs to make those softs work. So he needs to keep on the back of these guys. And he's, by quality pace, he's 8 tenths slower a lap. He needs to keep with them and stop that 8 tenths being 8 tenths. He's got another lap of this to go and he's got to stay within that gap. Butcher Rabbit did get past Altan's AI. I certainly believe it's an AI now anyways. Meanwhile, Tan down the back here. Looking close to guessing his man. But unfortunately there won't be a move just yet. Rotham's with another fastest lap. He's pulling away just ever so slightly from his teammate. But Tan, very much so, on the back here of Dan. And this may be a possible move coming up. Dan's looked very, very slow out this start. But unfortunately for Tan, that was not the greatest of exits. As we'll move back up now to Haggis, who's still on the back of the guys in front. DRS is activated. As you can see them all going under the tunnel here. Or, well, the bridge. Sorry. Andrew now out of DRS. Rotham's really pulled the tank as T-Bran is round. Oh, and that was a dangerous one from T-Bran. He's just taken out 3 cars in one. I can't. He's just taken out 3 cars in one. Where is the safety car? I mean, Andrew's fighting for his life here, but this shouldn't even be a move. Oh, so the safety car goes there. Altan's just rejoined, and his car's out of the race because some absolute fucking numpty decided to rejoin the track unsafely. Soft runners, take this chance to pit onto the hards. Please. Please, just take this chance to pit on the hards. Haggis piercing, good, good, good. Butcher Rabbit and Gort and E-Bird have to also do the same. Oh, Butcher Rabbit stays out. Well, rip my man. E-Bird goes in though. Butcher Rabbit making poor tactical decisions. Love it. Aye. That was poor, man. That was so poor. I don't even think that simple sorry cuts. Like, how do you... I guess you want to go back into a race. As a commentator, I guess it, you want to be there. You want to be in that fight. But a track like Canada, here, you spin around the whole track when you see cars coming on your minimap. You know your gap to a driver. You know you've been overtaken by many and it's still close. It's only lap 5 or lap 4 at the time. It's awful, man. It's awful. Well, we're going to have a safety car for a few laps whilst we get everyone back, rejoin the pack. Most people have gone onto the mediums. Ivo went hards, Kingdom went mediums. Haggis went onto the mediums and has a penalty. Is that a drive-through? Not drive-through, sorry, is that a speeding? No, it's not. It's just 3 seconds for corner cutting. As we're basically waiting for CMCR, Ivo, Kingdom, and a Twinkle to get back with the pack. Kingdom here, not exactly trying to though. In fact, Kingdom is losing a hell of a lot of time. What's taking him so long? Literally, if he was losing so much time there, he lost a good half a second through that sector. The safety car's going to be in this lap as well. Same as CMCR, I don't know why he's going so slowly. He's 17 seconds behind. Like, do you want to go back into the fight? And Kingdom's been able to push now, but CMCR is just gaining so little. Like, I can't imagine this is teammate work, but if it was to keep the safety car in, that would be very, very odd. Safety car line is just here, I believe. Another safety car speeding off down the straight, jeez. How much speed do you need? Oh, safety car in a slap. How late do you need to call that? CMCR's not even back with the pack yet. This is going to be a very skewish start. Nonetheless, I won't complain. Keown looks like he may have a good launch on Andrew here, but in fact, what's going on? What on earth just happened there? I don't know why, but everyone decided to slow down for no apparent reason. What? It's a safety car in this lap. My safety car is over. What? I am very, very confused by this. I don't know, I'm just going to assume that this is still a safety car, because everyone's still acting like it is. And the safety car's still out, but Dan has just overtaken Kajoko. I don't think that's very legal, mate. And the safety car is in, so I assume they're going to exit at the Hall of Champions and be gone. And there goes Rothens. It's going to be a relatively easy start, basically a GT Sport start here, because of how, well, how the last corner is. But still, Kajoko manages to get past Dan, and then ends up going a little bit too deep. Dan unable to capitalise on the mistake. But you know who can capitalise on that safety car? A certain man from Romania, Andrew, up the inside. And that is how you battle wheel to wheel. These two going at it furiously. And unfortunately, Andrew losing out, unable to beat out the American of legendary GOAT, as Keone even looked at him. Gogeta with a penalty as well. He's now fighting with Kingdom. Butcher Rabbit up into P7. Bloody hell, what is this race? The session must be glitched. There's a Ferrari in P7. And P4, what is this? Butcher Rabbit did look at the move, doesn't take it though. A Twinkle overtakes Gogeta. As Andrew's once again looking at the back of Legendary Go. His teammate once again putting a 2-second gap. Legendary Go just out of the picture at this point. And Andrew is looking in as many ways as he can to get past the GOAT himself, Scott Speed. A better exit there as well from Legendary GOAT is really going to help him up to the chicane. Sector 2, there's a yellow. That is Ivo. And look at these two go. This is beautiful. Andrew trying his best to get past the Red Bull here. The Red Bull just has pure speed in comparison to that Alpine. Andrew should know he's faster. He must feel it surely, and look at them go through the final chicane, avoiding the Wall of Champions. Everyone seems to do so nowadays. Not even a graze as Andrew's just over there on the line. You can see his teammate out in front a good 2.5 seconds now. He's looking up the inside. He needs more speed. He needs more power. He'll have the DRS coming into the first DRS section of the track. The first of 3. You can see Keone behind, just losing out a little bit each lap. As now DRS opens, those flaps go up, the Alpine speeds. Ka-chow. But Andrew still unable to get past the Red Bull. He holds back a little bit, a better exit out of this corner, out of the hairpin, should get him a pretty good run down the back straight. Possibly not onto the main straight. He's not able to make a move here. It has to be the main straight where he makes this move. Both drivers going through cleanly. Andrew looking quicker. Ooh, there's contact for wall. And once again, Andrew unable to do things. Both of them now with 3 seconds of penalties. I've missed a hell of a lot of moves, and I do apologise, but this battle for second place is beautiful. Andrew just dropping off though. And it looks like there possibly could be rain coming. Meanwhile, across the field, Everyone seems to have got their own little separate gaps at the moment. Nobody really in a battle. These two are the closest thing to it. Dan with a 3-second penalty. Tsunami, 0.1 second. Tsunami actually may have had an incident there. Nope, it's Kumigo Jita who has spun, as he will drop down the order into P15, 16. And yeah, definitely looks like rain could be coming here. As these two once again, DRS pushing Andrew along. Legendary Goat with the fastest lap. Andrew unable to do anything. The man in front of him is the fastest man on track. Even with DRS, it's not enough to push literal speed himself. And Stuart is making it look easy. As there has been an incident in Sector 1, not sure what it was though. Oh, it's a full course virtual. It's a virtual safety car. Kingdom has a 5-second penalty for a collision with Butcher Rabbit. Two drivers also coming out of the pits. That's Kumigo Jita and... Nope, those two are just coming into the pits, so it would be... I have no idea. But this virtual safety car is a brilliant time for Butcher Rabbit to pit. So Butcher Rabbit, if you're listening, pit now. Pit now. Pit now. I'm just going to stare at him. He's got a broken wing. Pit, please, brother, please. Just speed into the pit lane if you have to. Inters? Oh, okay. Kajoko and Gogeta choosing the Inters. I say rain's coming, but it's not here yet. I think he's got a 5-second penalty, I'll be honest. How are these two doing? Kingdom also pitting. Butcher chooses the mediums, Kingdom chooses the softs. This is their first lap on the Inters, so I won't judge them yet. But considering that, well, no rain's here so far, from what I can see, and DRS is still enabled, I don't think there's a need for Inters. I mean, I could be wrong, but we'll have to see by the fact that Gogeta and Kajoko are losing time to Kingdom at the moment by quite a bit. Meanwhile, across the field, Mr. McCann closing just slightly onto a Twinkle. Mr. McCann obviously starting higher up a Twinkle, doing really well to get to P9. Tan with a 3-second penalty, and Tsunami has made a mistake into the final corner as he moves down 2 positions. Ibo and CMCR both making it up, Butcher Rabbit being overtaken by Kingdom, as we're still keeping our eyes on this front battle. Could this be the lap? And look at the Red Bull straight line speed. Just look at it. Andrew braking a lot later. But this straight is not long enough. But he's made the dive up the inside. And Legendary Goat being pushed through turn 2 there. That is high. Well, yeah. Ebo getting past Tan. Mr. McCann with DRS on, but not able to make a move on a Twinkle just yet. And I've just missed the overtake. I move away for 1 second, I missed the overtake. Of course I missed the overtake. The one I've been waiting for this whole race, but finally it's happened. As the back marker moves out of the way, and what a play here this could be. DRS activation, and Andrew may have just broke enough to get it. Oh no, he doesn't. Andrew is vulnerable here, and this is what we want to see. Here goes Legendary Goat through into the final corner. Not side by side. Legendary Goat able to speed away. Andrew's going to sit in his slipstream and hope, even pray, that he can keep it. And nope, there's a safety car. Don't know for what, there's a safety car. Rothman's onto the intermediates, everyone onto the inters. Don't know why there's a safety car, but there's a safety car. And our leaders have caught up with it very early. And that's just going to give Rothman such a big advantage now. Keown. Oh. Basically, everyone who's getting this that free pit stop, in my opinion, is already ahead of the top two. These top two have finally been caught by Rothmans. You think out of other cars, who can catch them? I mean, yes, Rothmans has Dojita in front of him, but that's just a back marker who will move out of the way or overtake the safety car perhaps. Rothmans is still in the lead. Keown will come through into second place. Ebird will take third and Dan will take fourth. Those are guaranteed. A Twinkle, probably not close enough here. I'll be honest. But Keown's back into the pits. Why is Keown in the pits? Why did Keown pit? I don't know, but Dan does take P3. Andrew's going to try and race him out the pits. But he beats Legendary Goat, which is hilarious. And Tan next to Twinkle also went into the pits. And everyone in the top 7 has a penalty, apart from Rothmans. So that's just telling me that Rothmans may have this race wrapped up. And everyone on intermediates though. That's a clear sign that this track, as you can see, is already rather wet. And the few laps of actual racing we've been able to see have all been plagued by safety cars. But now this race comes into contention of who can win it. We've got Rothmans, Ebird, Dan, Andrew, Legendary Goat, and Tan, and then Keown. All of these men easily could take this race. And I just named every single one of them off the top of my head. That's hilarious. But any of them could take this race. Rothmans has the clear advantage though. And we don't just see tyres anymore. Where do I find it? Penalties, there we go. All of them have 3 seconds, apart from Tan with a drive-through. A Twinkle's also up 10 places, that's brilliant, by the way. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. I think if Rothmans gets a penalty, it can go anyone's way. If he doesn't, I think he's got it all day long. He can pull away. That's my opinion. Apparently Andrew got an overtake in the pits. Don't know how, but he did. On Legendary Goat, hence why he's P4. Legendary Goat's P5. What happened to Haggis? Oh, he's back down in P9. Oh yeah, he had to stop for the softs. I see. Obviously Mr. McCann in P10 as well. Safety car in this lap. Ibo and Gogeta have somehow just swapped places. But those two are just catching up to the pack now. They won't catch the pack, but they can fight each other when the race restarts. The safety car is in. And who's going to get a good start here? Will eBird capitalise? Roffin's still going slow. He's not able to accelerate, and he's holding this pack up a hell of a lot. Kingdom with a 3-second penalty. eBird is able to keep with Roffin slow, even for a mere moment. And eBird, unfortunately, losing out. I'll be back in just a moment, guys. My apologies. Apologies about that manic coughing fit, but Roffin's still in the league, plus 2.4 seconds over eBird. Dan just behind, Legendary Goat and Andrew swapping positions left, right and centre. Haggis back up to P6. Tan P7, Mr. McCann 8, a Twinkle P9. Then Tsunami, Kingdom, Butcher Rabbit, Kajoko, CMCR, Keone into the pits once more. As Sir Ibo and Gogeta fighting for P16. It's a drag race, and Gogeta wins it. Ooh. Excuse me. But almost everyone with a penalty here today. Canada's one of those tracks with awful track limits. It must be said. As the main battle I see today has been Andrew v Legendary Goat. I think these two have been on each other's throats all race. Excuse me. And just look at that straight line speed from the Red Bull. And yet Andrew's still going to try it. And he's been spun. Legendary Goat leaving no room. Andrew was alongside. As Tsunami gets a 3-second penalty, Mr. McCann able to go through. Andrew had his nose in, just completely rejected. Meanwhile, Goat now will push on to get eBird as Andrew makes the move on Mr. McCann. Unfortunately, we didn't really see much because of the trees, and those trees are speaking. Mr. McCann getting a penalty for running wide, the most stupid kind of penalties in this game. But he does keep the position, forcing Tan to stay behind. Ibo into the pits. As now a twinkle onto his teammate. Up the inside he goes. It's too deep though, as a twinkle's going to lose out to Tsunami, who really thrives in these wet conditions. Coincidence? I think not. Meanwhile, Legendary Goat is now only 2/10 off eBird, as here's the move. Is it coming? Ooh, ooh. He skidded a hell of a lot there. That Red Bull is on ice. Let's throw it into the pits as Tsunami takes the off-road shortcut, which gives him a 3-second penalty. Meanwhile, we're going to move it over to Legendary Goat now. 3/10 behind behind eBird, sorry. And up the inside he goes, but it's way too deep. He's trying to push that Red Bull to the limits, but sadly, Max Verstappen, last time he did that, Saudi Arabia, 2021. Meanwhile, Haggis, though, looking to make the move on eBird where Goat could not. But Goat's going to put the pressure on here. Rothman's into the pits once more. Could this be onto the wets? Yes, it is. Obviously, we saw Legendary Goat just getting through that, and he's going to try and make a second move as well. But Rabbit also onto the wets with Ibo. Aye. I don't. That wasn't an intentional brake check. That was him trying to brake for the corner, and Goat just rams into the back of him. Well, that's eBird now fighting Andrew for position. After fighting Legendary Goat, Haggis now behind him. You don't want to be in front of Legendary Goat, that's for sure, as he has a red wing. And he's not going to make almost any corner. Haggis will go through. And going wide there is Ibo to let them fight for it. Trying to see if Rothmans is gaining or losing time. He's gaining on Mr. McCann rather quickly. And you see Legendary Goat staying on track. Well, not really, but staying on track rather than pitting. eBird into the wall of champions. Oh, no, my apologies. He went from the wall of champions to the wall of the pits. And that's a safety car, full blown. Once again, Rothman's in the perfect position for this. You know who else is? Mr. McCann. Tan, Kingdom, and Kajoko. All of them in prime position now. But Dan leading this race, Haggis in second, Legendary Goat in third. I wasn't expecting Dan to be anywhere near the front today, and yet here he is. And the safety car's over there, so really these guys are just, as long as they stay within the delta, they are fine. I don't know why the safety car's waiting at the end of Sector 1. Normally it waits for the end of the first few corners, but oh well, it's waiting there. Meanwhile, he's only waiting rather a long time, because Dan is going to go straight into that pit lane. And as the cars aren't behind the safety car, we can expect pretty much minimal games. Butcher Rabbit with a drive-through penalty. Unlucky son. Legendary Goat is probably going to get rather held up by the fact that he's got to change his wing. So he's going to come out behind everyone else. There's the wing change. Out he goes in front of a twinkle. Tsunami staying out. What a goat. In that Williams as well. Andrew will beat him out. Tsunami next, Mr. McCann, then Legendary Goat. Running a little bit wide. Out of that pit exit. Probably still thought he had a broken wing. That's not normally what the game does unless you put yes to change wing. So, as it's lap 25 with yet another safety car, we have Dan in P1, Rothens P2, Haggis P3. Wait, Dan still kept P1? That's mad. Andrew P4, Tsunami P5 on the inters. Mr. McCann P6, Legendary Goat P7, Tan P8. Hearing that rain makes me feel wet. In a rain way. A Twinkle P9, Keone P10, Kingdom P11, Kajoko P12, CMCR 13th, Butcher Rabbit 14th, Gogeta 15th, and Ivo in 16th. I'm actually very surprised that Gogeta has not been lapped yet. That is a large surprise, but not for a bad reason. I'm just very surprised he hasn't. As Ivo into the pits once more, onto a new set of wets. E-Bird has left the session. What we'll do is we'll send him... Oh wait, no, he's out, never mind. That's why I left. Not a great day for Haas. Obviously they're expecting some good points here today, but sadly E-Bird unable to finish the race. I mean, at least he got the car back to the pits. I mean, through the wall, but it's in the pits now. As it looks like Tsunami did pit. Sad, I was hoping to see him finish this race on the wets. On the inters, sorry, that would have been funny. Butcher Rabbit having a permanent vacation into the pits, as it seems. I don't know why he hasn't left yet. Oh, there we go, finally. But Gogeta's been able to overtake him for P14. As obviously a top 14, at least, do get points. So Gogeta into the points for the reserves anyway. Keone and Kingdom, for some reason swapping places there. Assume Kingdom had a mistake. Joko leaves the pits in P13, which moves basically everyone up. But Dan does lead this race. That's very interesting. Will Dan be the man? Will he get the win? I actually don't know. I still sadly don't believe that Rothens will allow this to happen. I'm a firm believer that Rothens decides the races before they happen. At least in this league, anyway. I do believe he race fixes. He's a race fixer. He decides out of safety cars, and he's just like, I'll let Dan lead for a while. You know, that'll make him happy. Let him lead for a while, just to snatch it away right at the depth. And meanwhile, this will be a Dan restart. Will he go from the chicane? Yes, he will. It's Dan with the restart. And Rothen's on his tail very, very quickly. Legendary Goat already trying to make overtakes on Mr. McCann, as we can see behind us. As he does get that done. Mr. McCann drops back. As yellow flags in Sector 1 are raised. Haggis gets another penalty, but through there goes Andrew on Haggis. And Andrew up into P3 now. Could this be an Alpine 2-3, or will Rothens be able to make a big difference here? Haggis running wide, he's not looking good. It's not looking good for him at all. Going to go back slowly in. He's going to get a good exit out compared to the Aston in front of him. I don't think it'll be enough. Dan's already got a 1.6 second gap as yellow's in sector 2 and 3. But those cleared up quickly. And here goes Legendary Goat round the outside. And that's a 3-second penalty. Also, technically an illegal overtake on Haggis because he got a penalty there. As meanwhile, Keown goes past a Twinkle. Dan had a pretty awful end of that lap, as it seems, as he just dropped a whole 8 tenths to Rothens. But I know Dan, and I know he can keep this, as we can barely see the dry line anymore. Kingdom and Tan also fighting near the rear of the field. About to say pitch. Me as a football commentator, yes please. Mr. McCann has dropped down to P11 as well. Very much struggling, Mr. McCann. As he seems to be a part of the Kajoko train. At the moment, Dan does not win this race. He needs a 2-second gap to Rothens here. All Rothens needs to do, just keep it within 3 seconds. And overtaking, yes, is a good idea, but why need to overtake when you've got this in the bag as we speak? As that is Butcher Rabbit. I do believe, with the yellow flag. Keown seems to have lost a little bit of time to Haggis, as a Twinkle needs to really pick up the pace here if he wants any chance of getting P6 at the moment. The Kajoko train still has a lot of passengers at the moment. Tan being the most recent addition, 0.2 seconds behind CMCR. And in fact, we're going to have a look at that train. As we can see, CMCR going slowly. Tan has speed, has the pace, I know he does. Sadly, these wet conditions aren't exactly helpful for drivers here. As there's a yellow flag, that is Haggis. Haggis is gone, gone, gone. Someone visited Scotland, did not like haggis, threw it over the track. I don't know. There was some kind of simile metaphor thing there, but haggis down to P8, Legendary go up to P4, Keown P5, a Twinkle P6. My whole thing of a Twinkle not getting P6, well, I'm clearly wrong. As we are just watching Tan push away from CMCR here. Meanwhile, with 4 laps left to go, Rothen's 0.7 seconds, which is 2.3 seconds above where he needs to be, which is good. He's very much got this in his back pocket. Meanwhile, he's one of 3 drivers. Oh, fuck's sake. Really? Really, a safety car? Really? No offence, Kingdom, but it's only Kingdom. It is only Kingdom, and it's lap 31. Like, come on, man. You couldn't just let them race. You know, Keown put in a whole big 7-second gap. Like, Haggis now gets his race for a drive-through penalty. How is that fair? A second drive-through penalty. How is that fair? Like, how are you going to do Haggis like that? He had such a good race, and he would have been my driver of the day too. And I know who it's going to now. As no matter what, this man deserves it, even if he's not going to win today. Well, whilst we're doing this, we might as well look at the penalties. Only Rothen's, Keown, and Kajoko have missed the penalties. That's everyone else. 3 seconds for most drivers, 6 for Legendary Go, missed McCann, and 9 for Gogeta. We'll drive through for Haggis, because the game is just a bully. Oh, Tsunami also has 9 seconds. But I think as we're to lap 32, I might as well say my driver of the day is Dan. He hasn't put a foot wrong. I didn't think he'd win today, but he will be the man who crosses the line in first. That's all I need to say. That is all I need to say about him. Because I have faith. Oh, that engine sound. Nothing like what it should be. But yeah, Dan will be the man to cross the line P1. I have no doubt in my mind. Sadly, he won't get the race win. If you choose that 1 3-second penalty, if and only if Rothens gets a 3 seconds here, we are going to celebrate. But sadly for Dan, both him and his teammate can't steal points today. Kingdom being the man most recently out. As I'm assuming the safety car will be in this lap. Meanwhile, Haggis has a 13.8 second. Never mind, about a 12 second difference between him and the pack, but even so, I do believe 2 laps of racing. That's all we have left. It's basically a 3-lap race, but the first lap's a formation lap. and some people's rolling starts may be from a bit far back. Very surprised that Ibo's the only man who's been lapped so far. Nonetheless, this start matters a hell of a lot. Andrew does not want to overtake his teammate, that's a fact. He wants Rothmans to get that win. Alpine kind of needs that. If Andrew overtakes, that's just selfish and not for the team. Hence why Dan will lead out, Rothmans second, Andrew third. And that's how they want to keep these proceedings. Legendary Goat with 6 seconds is going to lose a hell of a lot of positions here. Dan with a second, 3 seconds. Oh no. Oh no. That is awful for Dan as he's sliding around the track. Keown down to a twinkle. And even further down due to Tsunami. A twinkle for 3 seconds now as well. So only 2 drivers left with no pens. Kajoko moving up past Mr. McCann as well. But Dan's away by over a second. Legendary Goat here. Gives Endra a little bit of a nudge. Actually gives him a bit of a speed boost as well. Kajoko overtaking. Oh dear. Overtaking once again as there seems to be a bit of a gap here between a Twinkle and the front runners. So these front 4 really in a battle of their own. But Keown's overtaking Tsunami. Keown with no wing. Oh dearie me. And there's the move. Rothmans trying to make it. Rothmans and Dan. He's going to go round the outside. He's making the move, and it's a wonderful one. That Andrew held up by his teammate. Legendary Goat now in the mix. It's a 4-way battle for P1. Andrew forced up the inside. Rothmans now down to P3. And he's being pressured by Legendary Goat. Takes a hit to the side pod. Goes in way too deep. That, once again, Max Verstappen-esque move. And he's kept the position. I hope the FIA see that. I hope the FIA see that. I mean, Andrews are not taking the win, I don't believe. If I can do my math correctly so far, it will be a Rothmans win still. But that was not how you do it. Dan will cross the line P1. It won't be his. Andrew will steal that. Rothmans will steal that from him. As it ends, Rothmans, Andrew, Dan, Legendary Goat, a Twinkle, Kajoko with no pens, Keown, Tan, Tsunami, Mr. McCann, Haggis, oh, sorry, CMCR, Kumigo Jita, Haggis, Butcher, Rabbit will then be the next man over. As Ivo's race is already finished as well. And as we go up to the podium celebrations, Tsunami's not my driver of the day. Mine is Dan, guaranteed. Congrats, Dan. I also hope I got enough shots of the top 4 for you, Role, in that whole race. But here we have, once again, Rothmans on the top of the podium. And it is a beautiful sight to see. The 2 Alpines and the Mercedes. Rothmans, Andrew, and Dan. As the rest of the field is Rothmans, Andrew, Dan, Legendary Goat taking P4, a Twinkle P5, brilliant stuff from him. In fact, also deserving of a mention in Driver of the Day. In fact, he may take it from Dan, I don't know. Kajoko P6, Kyo in 7th, Tan in 8th, Tsunami taking 9th, a brilliant drive from him as well. Mr. McCann 10th, CMCR 11th, very surprising, very good from him. Kumi Jojita in 12th. After languishing at the back the whole race, that is what you love to see. Butcher at 13th, Haggis 14th, Ibo 15th. Kingdom, Ebird, T-Bran, Role and Altan. Unfortunately for these guys, well, excluding Ibo being out. But that was a brilliant race to watch. Even better to commentate. And I thank you all so much for watching. I'm kind of dying here still. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And just to confirm, driver's day is Dan, but special shout out to a Twinkle. Anyway, peace.